live. Looks like I got in. Let me post a announcement on Discord. Okay, we are live. With the game. Looks like I've missed about half of turn one. Doesn't look like a whole lot's happened. They both took it pretty easy. Ambiance got a storehouse and a swordsmith, and pulled the daimyo's favor. And it looks like Mirumoto Crichton's been on the offensive, and it looks like he wants to take care of Akasha's swordsmith. Okay, looks like he's pinging him for a fate, and we saw a attempted let go on the Jade Tetsubo, and a defend your honor to it. We see the Akasha Swordsmith get booped on the nose and lose his fate. I expect we'll get some passes here. He gets a fate for the keeper, and at this point I think we'll just see pass-throughs. Hantai's definitely going to get pitched, and we'll probably see one of the butchers get knocked away as well. Oh, we see an Acolyte come down during the fate phase. That is probably there to protect against a wave of crabs. So we'll probably see that Mitsu bot next turn. Doesn't feel super great to play the Acolyte as a body. He does a lot more work as an attachment. Looks like there's a think going on about what to pitch from Dynasty, and we see him keep a Pious Guardian and a Butcher. Hantai gets discarded because he can't get bought. We see another one flip. That's super not great. And we also see a pretty decent flip for Mirumoto Crichton. Kisada is probably a good buy here. It looks like Ambiance is playing a High House of Light deck, so taxing the cards. Taxing the amount of cards that can get played. Seems like it could do some work against that deck. Queued and heated to see if there's a better option. Etsuji gets bought. That's a character that's done a lot for Crab. It makes attacking into a province row that's built for him especially painful. Because now Ambiance can't really swing at Vassal Fields because it'll cost him all his money. We see a 3-bit from Ambiance. It feels a little weird. Hand parity's there, so it might just be a way to keep his honor afloat. Might also be taxing the possible assassination. Seeing a bunch of people hop in now. Guessing teammates are showing up. Previous game may have ended. The Jade Tetsubo is lower military skill, so currently we have a disconnect and a reconnect. Hopefully this is not an actual problem. No, there we go. He finally manages to get a pass in. Earthring might be pretty well contested here. No keepers for Crab, but there's at least one. Yep, there's one in the row, which will make getting favor really good, because then you can buy the Emperor sitting there and start really slowing down the game. Hits Shameful. I assume we'll see Netsuji defend, and get some cards played. And we see Avakayu Envoy there is probably to eat a court games in case one comes down. And because Etsuji's there, any characters that show up after the fact can also get pinged by Shameful. Using it twice is really, really good. Who knew? See a fine katana come down on Mitsu. So he is up to 6 if he's tied with Tsuji, so I imagine there's going to be a Hawk Tattoo Void Fist in the near future. Watch Commander comes down on Tsuji. So now things are going to get somewhat costly. Ambiance passes. And he gains a fade off of that. I assume we'll see a common cause come down for the envoy to get a Tsuji back into the mix. I'd probably go Void here with the student. Threaten that Mitsu a little bit. You can just play 5 cards to put the fate back on there. But then he still has to play those 5 cards. And if that Watch Commander gets in the way, those 5 cards will become very, very costly. Fire Ring is also a good choice. Into the Forbidden City is the Fire Province, so you don't have to worry about Resto. Pursuit of Justice is reasonable enough to hit, I guess. I don't know that he plans on bowing many characters. Probably more useful on offense in case you run face first into a Midnight Rebels. So get this moved out the way. It is political, so if Ambiance wants to have an easy shot at stopping the break, he's got to defend with Mitsu, which also takes his biggest military off the table. Which ain't nothing. Seems like there's a bit of a think on how to defend, if to defend. Problem is to really make use here, you'd have to defend with Mitsu and play cards into the conflict to stop the firing from just dishonoring him anyway. So he lets it go, and he's just going to call it a loss. Fine Katana gets played. That'll cost him an honor. Now Mitsu is very big. He's currently 8 to Tsuji's 7. 9 if there's a Hawk Tattoo to bring him in, so he can get Void Fisted right away. But I'd almost consider the 3 honor you cost him a big enough win to let him take the firing on defense. Oh, we see a Jade Tetsubo come down. Now, Itsuji is quite large. So if there is a Void Fist incoming, Defend Your Honor can be played to stop it. And then Mitsu will get booped on the nose and feel really bad. And that might have been enough to scare Ambiance out of that tactic, or he might just be saving it for the incoming swing. Mitsu gets dishonored, making him a much more reasonable 5 military. Hunting Falcon comes down, so he's going to take a look and see Shameful Display in the 4th province row, or the 4th province. So he knows what he's going to walk into. Ambiance probably having to think here on how to approach the eminently defensible Crablands. And now we see a Gaishin Customs to stand at Tsuji. So now I don't think that there's a viable attack into this that won't immediately cost you the platform for your tower. But he's going to come anyway. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have the deck lists, so I don't know what provinces we're going to find. Manicured Garden, so we're going to have a bunch more Fade on the Crab side of things. I would probably just defend with the student and smack the Acolyte with the Jade Tetsubo. High House Light stops card abilities or events? Oh, just stops events, so... Yeah, I would have defended the student and walked Atsuji into the Shameful. Because even after a Shameful trigger, Atsuji is still larger than the Mitsu. There's pass. Gain of fate, gain of fate. There's another pass. I probably wouldn't. No, he does Tetsubo. I might have held off on that just because, for reasons that are irrelevant, because nothing happened. We see Talisman come down. I assume we're going to go over to Vassal Fields now. And yep, Ambiance is gonna pay 2 fate for that attack. Yeah, I don't know if there was a good way to. This should be 2 fate? Oh, you misclicked. Okay. So yeah, you might as well. He dropped the Ancient Master to avoid losing the money, which is fine. He pays an honor for that. And there's a decent military win. You know, here I might just go air ring into upholding. You're not going to break it unless you want to. You'll force a defend because right now Ambiance is getting the favor. If you leave the water ring standing, well, now go water so he can't dump an extra fate on Mitsu if he plays out his hand here. Chooses to pass though. Yeah, I would have gone it upholding military because you're not going to break it unless you play cards. You force him to defend because now you're going to lose the favor on this. And if you would have gone air, you would have definitely forced a defend. And whatever he defends with, you can basically boop on the nose of a Jade Tetsubo to fade off of. Yeah, that Watch Commander is certainly doing a bunch of work. High 5 decks basically need to play cards, and sitting at 6 honor really makes playing cards difficult. We do see the RNG of Lost Papers happen. Not a huge deal. Crab has Common Cause to stand. We do see the Atsuji dupe, so he's not in danger of losing this turn. So having him around for 2 more turns after this one can be a big deal. Mystic gets bought with a fate. That feels a little awkward for me. We do see a contested countryside hiding under the Imperial Storehouse. And since Crab is usually building around Atsuji, there's going to be a lot of action provinces that can be used on that. Kasada gets bought with 2, so that's more taxing of action economy. 1 bids come down, so the hand disparity is not that big. 2 cards isn't the end of the world either way, although Ambiance does have a Imperial Storehouse floating right there. Above question on Atsuji, so it can't be common caused anymore. And I'm pretty sure Crab has exactly 0 ways to deal with that attachment. The bad news is there's still a favorable ground on the table, so he can still get in there and cause his damage. Also, Quesada can just walk forward for a water ring and stand him. Trying to think what the water ring's probably the best choice. You can possibly just straight up bow Mitsu or straighten Atsuji. He's just going to walk forward into the Forbidden City. No attachments on Quesada yet, so it might as well be blank. We do see a Mitsu defend. Daimyo's Favor comes down. That is a good thing to burn to Quesada. Easy pass. There's the sacrificial Quesada action. There's another Daimyo's Favor. That gets bowed. I wonder what attachment's going to come down here. Infiltrator comes in and drops the province strength. Oh, there's a duelist training. We are probably going to see some cards drawn here. It's currently 7 to 5. Yeah, that infiltrator is just going to get dueled into the dirt. I would not have played that. I think attempting to push for a break. Okay, nice. So Mitsu is blank. The box is still active though, so he will get his fade off the air ring. But it looks like that Atsuji is going to end up standing here. Oh, we see an RTO. Probably going to win this one. He is at a... Oh, it's only 3 to 2. You know, I'd probably bid like 3 here. Getting back a Quesada for free would be hard and nice. Ambiance is chosen his bid. 4 to 2. Nice. So Mitsu's not going to bow. Quesada can't be readied. The problem is now those duelist trainings are a little rockier because you can't really afford to bid high because it's 7 to 5. You'd have to bid 4 to win. And no, he did slap a fade on him. Okay, we are going to see those duelist trainings attempt to come down. I feel like he should have played that Acolyte much earlier in this chain. Hawk Tattoo comes down, gets +1, and then punches Kasada in the gut. It does feel like it was fairly costly on the cards. And for all of that, he's still just at 6-3. So let's see, we've seen air, void, earth, so probably water, because I'm assuming Kuni Wastelands is on the box. So that's a Rebels that could be good. Bits of Pursuit of Justice that could also be good. I think I've seen this deck. I think I've seen Mirumoto play this deck before, and I think it is Pursuit of Justice, which will pull probably Atsuji in there and stand. Yeah, Ambiance doesn't really have a lot of good attacks into this. Paul Void at Vassal Fields. I think that's just going to get moved off to something less proactive for him. Defense of the Student. First action is Tetsubo. Guess he doesn't care about losing a fate. Mitsu gets another Duelist training. We're probably going to see Vassal Fields. Oh no, he paid the fate for Duelist training, so he can't get Vassal Fields. Any kind of attachment or court games would do wonders here. You really don't want to move it off of Vassal Fields. Okay, pulls Atsuji in. That will stop him from playing cards. Ornate Fan comes down to stop the Void Ring. And that's a pass there. I don't know if I like the move to Shameful. I mean, I guess you can trigger it twice to Ambiances once. I wonder if he's forgotten about it or just realizing the futility since Atsuji's in play. If I was Mirumoto Crichton here, I'd just pass, let Ambiance come in, and then... Oh, never mind. favorable ground's gone. Any kind of conflict character, and I would do, oh, nope, I see no conflict characters, so Mitsu's going to get a free hit on whatever he likes. I would probably go with Shameful. Oh, we see a favored mount. Okay, so the move over to Pursuit of Justice standard Tsuji plan is still in effect. Yeah, there's no way you can attack into this. Mitsu's going to get booped, but he's going to give it a shot. That comes in, so cards are now off the table. Jade Tetsubu goes away. Which is fine. I assume we're going to see Itsuji move over to this, if it is Pursuit of Justice, and then stand. Oh, perhaps that's not Pursuit of Justice. Oh, Talisman was already used. Ignore me. I'm an idiot. It's fine. Keeper comes in. Reprieve gets played on the student. This board is not looking good for Dragon. That Casada is going to make things awkward, because you can't trigger the box. I mean, you can stop events, but I don't think the events are the important part here. All that goes away. Ambiance might be digging for an Emperor to... Ooh, that is a bad time to flip 2 seasons. Because Mirumoto Crichton's flip was also not good. I'm pretty sure we're going to see the Mystic get bought to take care of that above question. I think you have to seasons here, otherwise there's no moving forward in the game. Only problem is you give Crab just as many chances for better flip, and losing a third Proving Grounds is rough when you've got 3 duelist trainings in play. And we do see the Seasons Fire. Pretty sure we're going to see a Gallant Quartermaster get bought. See another Mystic come out. I assume we're going to see, no, we see Doom Shugenja bought. Buy the Gallant here, there's no reason not to. And we'll probably see some 1-bids here. There's no surprises there. Storehouse. pass into conflict, and I don't know how you attack into this. I legitimately don't. The Mystics has to blow up the Watch Commander, so you basically have to hope that he doesn't have a second one in hand. We see the above question get meted away. And we're going to see a Keeper come in on Void. No? No, we're not. Yeah, I don't know how you come into this. Looks like he's settled on the Facedown province. And going political with Mitsu and the Keeper. And it's back down to just the Keeper again. I mean, that does take Void off the table. If Mirumoto Crichton has the Itsuji, you just always defend with him. Or has the Common Cause in hand. You just always defend with him. So that there's nothing. Hell, even he just needs a Common Cause to stand at Tsuji. And he can favorite mount him into the Pursuit of Justice. Now we see a defend with just a student. Probably doesn't have a Common Cause in hand. Or at least that's what that tells me. There's the Kasada sacrifice. See, I would have defended with Itsuji. Whatever he plays, he needs to bleed for. Mystic is blank. Interesting. That gets him a bunch of money and keeps the talisman safe. As well as the favorite mount and watch commander. Lock tattoo for Mitsu. That's unsurprising. This is why I would have defended with Itsuji. We're probably going to see an RTO here. Way of the Dragon. Yeah, you need that Itsuji in there now. Like that needed to be in there, and none of this would have happened. He's up to 10. You also really can't let that Way of the Dragon stick, because he's going to refill his hand and pillage yours. And he's going to get bigger and bigger for doing it. Uh, and there's Cloud. So things are now going to get out of hand because he's going to play out his hand, trigger the Earth Ring twice, uh, basically restore hand parity, and we'll probably draw into an RTO to try it again later. Favor gets bowed. I mean, I guess I guess he can't RTO because he doesn't have any money. Reprieve gets played on Mitsuji. And there's a duelist training. Pretty sure you can get the one more card out here. Oh, there's a Void Fist. So that's breaking, but that was going to happen anyway. Probably going to trigger air at least once here to pull himself out of the danger zone. Keeper Initiate can't be targeted. That feels odd. He puts a Fate on it. That also feels odd. Not sure why that was done. Probably big brain reasons I don't understand. Now he's having to think about what ring to resolve. I mean, one of them has to be air. Hindsight being what it is, I think blanking the Mystic may have been uh, greedy. Not greedy. Risky? Risky is probably a better word for it. So there's one Earth Ring. We're going to see a second Earth Ring. And there's the air ring, game 2, take him out of the immediate danger zone. No Fate though. No Fate and little cards. Casada loses his Fate. So you've got one card in your hand. I think you just walk into upholding now and play out your card. Yeah, actually, I would probably go water into upholding. I would not go earth. Does go into upholding. Smartest play. Receive a token defense. And then we're going to see a card get played out so it doesn't get pitched. Or we don't, and the card gets pitched. If that happens, the card couldn't have been that important anyway. It's a Defend Your Honor. That's fine. Hopefully you draw into something like a Common Cause, because Itsuji's going to have to defend. Oh, you do get a keeper. You get 2 keepers. I retract my Earth statement. So now Itsuji can defend to shut down whatever comes his way. And then you come in fire. Also makes sense that he can't attack. So here I would absolutely come in air. I'd take the hit at Shameful. Yeah, I like that, because then I'm assuming it's Sacred Sanctuary under the box. But then you just walk forward with big numbers on water, and Mitsu gets bowed regardless, unless he comes up with a dupe. How many of those have we seen? Just 1. So he could flip another dupe. I still think air's the right call. I would not go in with quite everyone. Goes fire, gonna take a hit at Shameful. No bigs. Six, 3, Shameful's breaking, can't really play any cards. Not that you have any cards to play. Unsurprisingly, that breaks. Here, you got some. Actually, re-honor Itsuji. Yokuni goes away. It's a big deal. And we do see the Itsuji re-honored. That Itsuji has been around the entire game. And I'm sure he's made all the attacks into Crab that much more difficult. Both of them gain an honor. Doesn't really matter. We are definitely going to see some 5 bids. Starting off 8 to 12. Yokuni goes away. Ooh, there's the Yokuni or Famitsu dupe. But we do see a student, a Gallant, and a Yasuki, which are all big deals right now. Gallant gets purchased. Mitsu gets duped, so water's not really a good attack in anymore. Not that it matters. We've seen all 3 Void Fists. Vanguard Warrior gets bought, so Etsuji will continue to stick around. There's the Investigator. You have to buy the student. Like, you just have to. And then the Yasuki won't go awry also. Regardless, both players are going to bid 5. Lack of fade on the board on Crab's side clearly indicates he's going to go for a kill. Buys Mystic, so we're going to see something go away. There's a big old list of choices. Probably the Duelist, oh no, probably the Takeshi Acolyte. What am I talking about? I don't think now's the time to be big braining bids here. This is clearly a case of 5 bids because Crab needs the cards to get over. Because right now he's at 12, 14, 16, 17. He's going to die. 20, but you figure 6 of it's going to get bowed to the Duelist trainings. So he's coming in with 14. You've got 9 plus 5 is 14. Yep. We got 5 bids, 6 cards. Dragon's going to have a bit of a hard time here. Yasuki wasn't bought because the Fabled Ground would get used immediately. Katana comes down on Atsuji pre-combat. We're probably going to see Mitsu blanked by the student. Oh, we're not in the conflict phase. Now that we're in the conflict phase, we're probably going to see the Mitsu blanked by the student. Mystic eats the Acolyte. How many let goes have we seen? Just the one. Now we're going to see Mitsu blanked, and then Crab will enact the classic Crab battle plan of walk forward. Watch Commander on student. There's a let go for Ambience. He needs to play it now. Otherwise he cannot play any card. He can't play nearly enough cards to make a difference. Katana comes down on Keeper. Gallant blanks Mistant. Blanks Mitsu. Both players should have all the money they need. And now it's time to walk forward and see whose numbers are bigger. Air Ring's not super critical here. Jesus Christ, he's coming in 22. I'd go with the Keepers as well. Apparently I can't math, because I did not get up that high when I was counting. I am product of a public school. I apologize. Not defending of the investigator. Okay. So, Ambience can play 3 cards and can bow out 6 force. You can play 2 cards and bow out 6 force. I mean, there's no cuteness here, right? It's 8-3. I guess you can about 7 force. I didn't update that for the. Alright, there's 1-1s. Sacred Sanctuary is still breaking. Cards gotta be played, man. Oh, that's right. Way of the Dragon doubles all of those. Hunting Falcon comes down on Itsuji. We're going to see the Everkeeper get bowed, which will leave it 15-11, which is 1 shy. There's a Hurricane Punch. Draws him a card. Costs him 2 honor. I mean, you got it. The break is stopped. You see a favored mount come down. Itsuji's got all the toys. There's that. You have to come up with at least 2 more force. Because he can just favorable grounds in the Investigator if he needs to. Way of the Crab. Spicy. The only choice here is the Investigator. Sacred Sanctuary means that Mitsu's still going to crunch. All he cares about is stopping a break. So now you just got to come up with 1 more force. A Bonsai would be phenomenal. And there's a pass. That is not great. So we're going to see Mitsu take a crunch on probably the Manicured Garden. I would go Earth to get the other keeper to get another attack. Oh, Ancient Master at home. Oh, we are coming down on clocks here as well. There's the Earth Ring at Manicured. So we're going to see a bunch of fate happen. No defense because nothing's available. Some things are unsurprising. There's pass, he's not breaking, so that means he's not losing this turn. Ornate Fan gets a keeper. Things look like they are starting to slip away from the crab player. There's fire at shameful display. Talisman over manicured. I'm not sure why. Yeah, because he was breaking anyway. That's shameful, and so like and moving over to you didn't manicure twice on the last one. I gotcha. Yusuke gets pitched, so we're going to see that. Oh, he kept the shameful because Itsuji's going to stick around for a turn because of the Vanguard. Oh no, that was a misclick. Not sacking the Vanguard on Itsuji means that this game is now done. That had to have been a misclick or a misremember. Oh, there was a reprieve on him. I still would use the Vanguard. Sorry, I have a hard time keeping track of all the attachments on there when they're a fucking mile long. Oh, there's enough papers flips awkward rally, so it doesn't do anything. You buy the student, you buy Casada, then you buy a keeper. Ooh, but then that leaves you no fate. Oh no, never mind. Math is hard. That leaves you with 3 fates. You can even 1 fate Casada, go 2 in. It's just Sacred Sanctuary is such a beating. We see Cuban Heater used. Trying to find more options. Buys an Envoy. Cheaper than the Keeper. Buys a Butcher. Interesting. That actually does make a bit of sense because you can talisman the Mitsu if it attack. Oh, it's not going to now, but you can talisman onto the Shameful and not defend. And then the Butcher can just merrily walk into Sacred Sanctuary. Only thing you got to worry about there is Hawk Tattoos, of which we have seen 1, 2, just 2. I can't imagine there's a 3rd one in there. There might be though. Getting that tower into everything is pretty important. This might come down to time though. Envoy gets blanked, or Envoy blanks Mitsu. There's a pass. Mirumoto Crichton's going to have to play a little quick. He's just going to go straight at Shameful. He's going to have to go with more than just the Investigator, though, otherwise it's not going to break because of value forges. My problem is if he goes with too many people, they're just going to get dishonored repeatedly. Student of Anatomies blocks. We should see him just snap down Shameful. Ooh, that clock looks like it's ticking faster than it should be. We'll get to see what is in Mirumoto Crichton's hand. Ambiance having to think about this, given that time is forever slipping away. As we all march inexorably towards death, you might want to make a decision sooner rather than later. We have an assassination that's not getting picked, bonsai, favored mount, customs, Nizumi infiltrator, and talisman. Gaijin customs was 100% the right call. Now you basically have to go. God, the numbers are just so categorically large. 10 to 6. Can you afford to go military? 14 to 16? I do not think you can, because he's just going to get bowed with the butcher. Infiltrator is an interesting play here. It'll get bowed, but it still technically provides 1 for breaking. So I mean, you just duelist training here, right? And it's 14 to 6. Watch Commander goes away. So now we're going to see a whole bunch of cards come down. Defend your honor. We are at 14 to 15. Alright, we are going for a win. Unfortunately, that bid there means it cannot be kicked. So now you got a bid 1. Duel has no effect. That doesn't matter, because he's going to play out 5 cards and bow with Tsuji. Pretty sure this game is done now. It only looks like there's interaction happening here. It's not. Because this attack is going to get blunted. There's a Hurricane Punch. Infiltrator comes in, but the duelist trainings haven't been used yet. And they're down to 10 seconds. There's a 1-bid, prevent duel, and we are done here. With 6 seconds left on Mirumoto Crichton's clock, none of this matters. And that is that. Time in the round. Pretty sure that's where it's going to end. There's no coming back from this, and there's a GG. Thank you everyone for joining us. That was a very tight game. I think the small opening that happened 2 turns ago, Ambiance was capitalized on it like an excellent player does. It was a hell of a game to watch. Both of them played really well. I think it came down to this, that one conflict. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining, and I will catch you all later. Bye.